It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for Saturday previews. Richie,
Yep.
we're posting Saturday previews on a Friday.
I know.
This is a little weird, but of course, we want to get this out before games started tomorrow. But yeah, so we have count them, three games to talk about, and we're going to start off with the Edinboro Fighting Scots football team as they travel to Slippery Rock for tomorrow's game at 6 p.m. Richie, the Scots, though, last week had a heartbreaking loss against Bloomsburg. What do you have?
Yeah, Mike. This info is on GoFightingScots.com. Now, the Edinboro football team dropped a 32-27 decision to visiting Bloomsburg in a seesaw game at Sox Harrison Stadium Saturday afternoon. Trailing 26-20, the Scots started their drive from the 29-yard line and 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the game. The Scots completed a pass to Logan Brooks and back-to-back tosses to Isaiah Brewer to move the sticks to the Edinboro 41. A 15-yard pass to Tegan Brown set the Scots up with the first down at the Bloomsburg 41. Isaac Bernard connected with Evan Lowe down the left sideline for a 44-yard touchdown.
And I do want to make it clear, I was actually on the sideline where Evan caught that, and it was crazy. But of course, after Evan's touchdown, there was a little bit of time left, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Braden Lambert hit the extra point to give Edinboro a 27-26 lead with 1 minute and 12 seconds to play.
Yes, and Reed Martin kicked the ball into the end. Into the end zone, setting the Huskies up at their own 25. Bloomsburg went on a 75 yards in 7 plays, capped off by a Riley Parker 1-yard run with 34 seconds to play. The Scots stopped the 2-point conversion, making it 32-27. Edinboro moved the ball to the Bloomsburg 43-yard line, but the last-second pass was intercepted at the 1-yard line as, unfortunately, time did expire. On the ensuing possession, the Scots again held the Huskies without a first down. Gage Galeska, who, by the way, I do want to mention, was named the PSAC West Special Teams Player of the Week. Of course, everybody calls him Gator on the team. And he broke through and blocked the KJ Riley punt and then recovered the ball in the end zone to give the Scots a 6-0 lead with 14:05 left in the second quarter. Later in the second, Galeska blocked a second punt that Fredo Diaz fell on at the Bloomsburg 10 to set up the Scots up first and goal. Four plays later, Bernard found Jared France for a 4-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion was unsuccessful, though, making it 12-0 Edinboro with 8:31 left in the second.
The Huskies struck before the half when Riley Parker capped a 8-play, 7-yard drive with a 8-yard touchdown run, sending the teams into half with Edinboro leading 12-6.
Yes, and like we said, we did want to go back and mention everything that happened because once again, if anybody knows about GoFightingScots.com, like obviously you put the first important stuff in the beginning and then go back after. So that just want to make it clear that's why we're doing that. But yeah, I do want to mention, though, that Bloomsburg grabbed its first lead of the day on the 11-yard touchdown by Parker with 9 minutes 27 on the clock. But obviously the Scots took the lead back later with 1:36 left in the third when Greer made a juggling catch down the right sideline for a 34-yard touchdown. Bo Swartz converted the 2-point conversion. Bloomsburg tied the game at 20-20 on a 19-yard touchdown pass from Riley to Justin Wolf with 5:49 to play. Riley connected with Gabe Browser for a 55-yard touchdown at the 2:25 mark of the fourth to take a 26-20 lead. Edinboro blocked the extra point, setting up the two scores in the final minute and change of the game. Bernard was 30 of 46 for a career-high 339 yards and 3 touchdowns, so Isaac really did play well against Bloomsburg. Unfortunately, wasn't the result that everybody was looking for. But it was the third 300-yard game for Bernard in his career. Tegan Brown caught 6 passes for 84 yards, and Lowe added 2 catches for 55 yards and a score, while Greer hauled in 4 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and Diaz led the defense effort with 13 tackles, with 1.5 tackles for loss and 6 solo stops. Now looking at Slippery Rock, they are undefeated with 3-0 record, with wins over New Haven, Shepherd, and Shippensburg. Let's look to stop the passing and running game of Slippery Rock, as they are well balanced on offense.
Yes, they are, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens against Slippery Rock. But now let's take a look at the Edinboro Fighting Scots women's soccer team. Richie, what do you have there?
The Edinboro women's soccer team dropped a 6-0 decision on Slippery Rock Wednesday afternoon in the PSAC action inside Sox Harrison Stadium. Slippery Rock got on the board with the 18th minute off a rock corner. Sophia Palmer extended the lead with a tally in the 37th minute to push the halftime lead to 2-0. The Rock added 4 insurance goals in the second half to set the final.
Yes, and Madison Felton recorded a pair of shots for Edinboro, including ringing a shot off of the woodwork early in the second half. Kaylee L'Oreal made 2 saves in the final 20 minutes, and the Scots are back in action Saturday when they host Pitt Johnstown at 1 p.m. at Sox Harrison Stadium. Now, Richie, what do you have on Pitt Johnstown?
Pitt Johnstown comes in the 3-2 and 2 record. Last time they had a 1-0 with Cal U. Sophia Lamster scored with just 2 minutes and 25 seconds left remaining in the regulation. Let's see what the Fighting Scots can do tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Sox Harrison Stadium. Now, Mike, let's look at volleyball.
Yes, I wanted to start talking about volleyball because, of course, like I've said on the show, we want to support all Edinboro athletics. But now, last time out, the Edinboro women's volleyball team down visiting Ursuline 3-0 Tuesday night inside Macomb Fieldhouse. Of course, I almost said Sox Harrison Stadium because we're used to saying Sox Harrison Stadium. But yeah, Macomb Fieldhouse. The Scots held a 11-8 lead in the first, but Ursuline scored 2 straight to trim the lead to 11-10. Edinboro answered back with a 6-1 run to pull ahead 17-11. Ursuline battled back to 19-16 after a 5-2 spurt. The Scots tallied the next 4 points, keyed by 2 Casey Smith kills, to take a 23-16 lead and win the set 25-19.
Yeah, and Edinboro was down 6-4 earlier in the second, but came back with a 6-2 run to take a 10-8 lead. The Scots held a 19-15 lead and closed out the second on a 6-1 spurt to take the set to 25-16. The Scots jumped out 13-7 in the third and never looked back, winning the decision frame 25-14. McKaylee Nealons led the offense with 12 kills to go with 5 digs and 1 solo block. Smith tallied 8 kills on a .636 hitting percentage with 2 block assists. Linguist finished with a .583 hitting percentage and 7 kills to go with 3 total blocks.
Yes, and Lainey Burns led the Scots in assist with 17, while Abby Sobolski notched 15 helpers. Carly Pry, as of course we had her on the show recently, led the defensive effort with 15 digs. The Scots return to action tonight, actually, of this recording at 6 p.m. At Macomb Fieldhouse when they host Clarion in PSAC West. In the PSAC West opener, for both teams, as Clarion last time out got a 3-1 win over Cal U and came in with a 7-4 record. The Scots also travel to Cal U on Saturday to take on Cal U at 5 p.m. Of course, we mentioned that lost to Clarion, and they also lost yesterday to Walsh 3-1, and Cal U, of course, as of right now, comes in with a 3-7 record. And yeah, so Richie, that's all we have for our Saturday previews. Make sure you go to each game. Let's see if I can remember this from the top of my head.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Slippery Rock at 6 p.m. for the Edinboro Fighting Scots football team. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. at Sox Harrison Stadium for your Edinboro Fighting Scots women's soccer team. And then, of course, if I can get this out in time, tonight, the Edinboro volleyball team hosts Cal U at 6 p.m. at Macomb Fieldhouse. I think I got it right.
I think so.
But yeah, as we like to say on this show, roll Scots.